When we speak about grief, something that really comes up for me is how much grief is in the collective, which means like how much of society is not allowing themselves to feel their grief, let alone even holding space for another person in grief, because we're still threaded to this paradigm of toxic masculinity that we're moving away from. And that masculinity in that space of toxicity, the belief system was that grief was weakness. And this is only an illusion of a belief that does not empower us and support us as a human being, as a spiritual being having a human experience, and as community. And so when you speak to a group of people holding space for an individual to really like empower them in moving that force of energy, it's a force outward, it really takes me back to the concept of indigenous cultures, in specific sweat lodge ceremonies for people who are grieving, and how people, complete strangers, come together to hold space for those who are in grief and in suffering and need to pass it through. And something I'd like to also introduce or invite the listener to is, in your mind, what would it look like and feel like to just collapse and have people who you feel safe around you holding you, but just to collapse and just sob and grieve and truly move that energy outward. And for some people, there's a resistance of, I don't need that, I don't want that, that feels uncomfortable. And then for other people, there might be this like almost this collapse inward of like, I need that, like I want that, that's something that I really, really need, that would help me move forward in my own healing process and trauma and coming closer to self.